Hi there! Today's video is on fermented overnight oats. It's really simple, there's nothing complicated going on here, so it may lead to the question of, is it really doing anything? I mean, usually we ferment foods for the benefits of the probiotic cultures, right? So if we cook it, are we just canceling out what we just fermented? The answer is no, and I'm going to not only tell you why, I'm going to show you why. First though, if you're new to my channel and this is your first time clicking in, hi and welcome. I do a variety of videos on clean food living lifestyle. One of my favorite topics to cover is fermenting foods, which is maybe why you clicked into this video on fermenting oatmeal. But I do a whole bunch of other stuff as well, such as fermenting cabbage, aka raw sauerkraut, bell peppers, mushrooms, kale. I have a whole playlist on it, so I'll leave a link in the description below of that playlist, and I invite you to just go in, check it out, and watch some of my other videos. And some other fun topics that I like to cover are a little bit of farm and garden, nutritional profile videos, wild edibles, all natural herbs and remedies, things like that. So if any of that sounds good to you, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you be a part of clean food living. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic, overnight fermented oats. I'm going to tell you why we want to do this, the importance of it. I always feel it's important to know why you're doing something. And then I'll show you how to do it, and then a little surprise that I came across when I did a little experiment. I'm going to share all of that with you coming up. Alright, so if we dial it back to the original question that I asked when I opened this video of, if we end up cooking the fermented oatmeal, aren't we just destroying all the reasons why we're fermenting it in the first place? Well, the quick answer is no, we're not. Fermenting does more than just grow healthy probiotics for gut flora health. So when you remove that element of it, let's say by cooking the oatmeal, which you don't have to, and I'll get into that a little bit later, but most people like to cook their oatmeal. Anyhow, fermenting does more than grow probiotic cultures for the sole purpose of gut health. Lacto-fermented bacteria, aka probiotics, break down an anti-nutrient called phytic acid. Anti-nutrients, like phytic acid, are natural or synthetic compounds found in foods like legumes, nuts, seeds, lentils, dark leafy greens like kale, and some other root vegetables as well. Other anti-nutrients that maybe you've heard of aside from phytic acid are oxalates and leptins. What these anti-nutrients do is that they interfere with the bioavailability of nutrients to the body, because in their molecular structure they actually bind to these nutrients, and that's why they're not bioavailable. They can also get in the way of digestive enzymes, which are another key to proper digestibility of nutrients. So lacto-fermented bacteria break down these anti-nutrients, freeing them up for the body to absorb. Now there's other methods as well that break down anti-nutrients, such as soaking and cooking. But the reason why I'm calling today's video fermented oats is because yes, we're going to soak them, but we're fermenting them as well, and you will see the benefits. So here is a chart of foods highest in phytic acid. I mentioned earlier that anti-nutrients particularly have an affinity to bonding to zinc, but other nutrients that phytic acid likes to bond to are calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium, manganese, copper, and selenium. You want those nutrients, right? Not the phytic acid. According to the Journal of Nutritional Science and Vitaminology, just soaking alone for 12 hours eliminates 60% of the phytic acid. Lactobacillus bacteria, aka probiotics, also break down phytic acid by forming organic acids. So combining the two, soaking and fermenting, can improve the phytic acid reduction from 60% up to 83%, particularly with these probiotics. So whatever probiotic you're going to be adding to this overnight oat ferment, be sure that it contains these. And just in case you were wondering, it's only the phytic acid or the anti-nutrient consumed in a particular meal that affects the bioavailability of the nutrients of that meal. So just really quick, for example, if you don't soak and you don't ferment your foods and you have a bowl of kale, those anti-nutrients in the kale are only going to affect the bioavailability of that meal. If you then have dinner 4 hours later, it's not going to affect the dinner meal. So if you have an anti-nutrient heavy meal for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or however you eat your meals, if every single one of them is high in anti-nutrients, without soaking and fermenting to help break that down, that could potentially lead to nutrient deficiencies. So now we're going to get into the next segment of this video where I'm going to show you how to do it, doing the soaking and the fermenting combined. But I feel it's really important that I add this little tidbit. I watched this video the other day by a channel that I also subscribe to. I have no affiliation with him, but I think this little clip here is important to share, and it's an important reminder of why we want to eat organic. I mean, who enjoys a fresh side of Roundup? I don't.
All right, let's start off with something that can score alarmingly high in glyphosates, and it's oats, right? So I pick up a bag of old-fashioned rolled oats, and the problem is, if you don't see the word organic, these are going to test high in glyphosate. So what is glyphosate? Glyphosate is the active ingredient in Roundup.
So I'll leave a link to that video in the description below if you want to watch the entire video or check out some of his other videos as well. So let's get now into the how-to in 2 ways. If you're planning on cooking the oats afterwards, which is just a personal preference, put the oats in a bowl and add water without any needed measurement. Just fully cover the oats. Sprinkle a tad of probiotic into the bowl. That's all you need. And you can add more probiotics if you want. Soak for 12 hours. Do this before bed so it's ready to go in the morning. Keep at room temperature on the countertop. So if you cook your oats, the probiotics will serve their purpose of enhanced phytic acid reduction, but in the end will be killed off. If you want to eat the oats raw and don't want a bowl of watery, raw oats, add the oats to water in a 1-to-1 ratio. For example, 1/2 cup of oats to 1/2 cup of water. Sprinkle just a tad of probiotic into the bowl like I just showed you with the other bowl. Soak for 12 hours. Do this before bed so it's ready to go in the morning, and keep at room temperature on the countertop. Eating the fermented raw oats will keep the probiotics alive for gut health in addition to the enhanced phytic acid reduction. Here's the oats 12 hours later. For this one, cook as normal. For the 1-to-1 ratio oats, this is a nice consistency if you're eating the oats raw. Watch this, I did a little experiment. This is a bowl of soaked only oats. Take note of the texture. The oats are fully intact, and generally the oatmeal consistency is rough. Now this is a bowl of oats that have been soaked with added probiotics for 12 hours. Look at the consistency difference. These oats are so broken down by the addition of lacto-fermented bacteria, the oats are mostly not even fully intact, and the consistency of the oatmeal is mushier. This is how much of a breakdown difference in just the physical fiber as seen by the naked eye of the oats. So if you have digestion issues that cause a lot of gut sensitivity, this is a great way to naturally break down the oats beyond what cooking can do. Don't soak your oatmeal longer than the 24-hour period. I experimented with different lengths of time from 2 days, 48 hours, up to 3 days, 72 hours. And after the 24-hour mark, the oats began to get really strong and bitter because the fermentation was just too powerful and it just tasted awful. And then when I experimented beyond that with 72 hours, 3 days, the oats just went rancid. So 12 hours I think is really the sweet spot. So if you prep your oats at night before bed, they're going to be ready for you the next morning. Personally, I do cook my oats. I just like the sensation of warm oats. However, don't be afraid of eating them raw. They really don't taste bad at all, and they are really significantly softened into a nice texture because of the lacto-fermentation on top of the soaking. Recently, I've started just kind of combining the two. So when I put my oats into the pot to cook, I just reserve maybe 1/4 cup of those oats on the side, and then after I cook my oats, I will add the raw oats in, and that seems to be a nice medium, so I'm kind of getting the best of both worlds. At least that's my theory. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other videos right here. I'll also put some video links in the description below for you to check out. And remember to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you be a part of Clean Food Living. Have a great day, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye.